But first, 1996 Olympic gold medalist from Kazakhstan, Vassiliy the Tiger Jirov, puts his undefeated record on the line against Jason the Native American Nightmare Nicholson in this cruiserweight bout. Let's join commentators Bob Papa and Al Bernstein with the opening bell right now on Classic Night at the Fights.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Top Rank Incorporated in association with Budweiser, This Bud's For You, presents 10 rounds in the cruiserweight division. Your referee for this event from Destrehan, Louisiana, the elegant Elmo Adolph. Introducing now the principals first in the red corner to my right, wearing the black trunks, weighing in at 188 pounds. He hails from Tulsa, Oklahoma, with a professional record of 15 victories, 8 defeats, and 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Introducing Jason Nicholson. His opponent in the blue corner, wearing the tiger print trunks, weighing in at 186.5 pounds. He hails from Kazakhstan, but now makes his home in Scottsdale, Arizona. Ladies and gentlemen, with a professional record of 11 victories, no defeats, all 11 wins coming by way of knockout, voted the Boxer of the Year in the 1996 Olympics. Here is the Russian Tiger, Vassiliy Jirov. 10 rounds, cruiserweights.
Gentlemen, you both received your instructions from the commission.
Let's take a look at the rules as governed by the state of Mississippi. 3 knockdown rule in effect. There is a standing 8 count. A fighter can be saved by the bell only in the final round. Only the referee may stop the bout. Accidental foul if half of the scheduled rounds are completed. They'll go to the judges' scorecards. Prior to that, you'll have a technical draw. This one scheduled for 10 rounds. There is Vassiliy Jirov, 23 years of age. He's been in the United States for a year and a half, fighting out of the Scottsdale area. In his association with Top Rank, he is using the nutritionist that Oscar De La Hoya uses, and they say that he's at his strongest that he's ever been. You take a look at the knockout ratio. Obviously, Jirov with all 11 of his pro bouts ending with knockout wins.
And on top of all that, he's a lefty, so that creates more problems for his opponents. And I have always felt that a real talented young cruiserweight has got a nice path to a title. It's a division where you can get to a world title quicker, and if you stay in that division, it may not be as much money as the heavyweight division, but you can do pretty well.
Jirov is a national hero in Kazakhstan and throughout Russia. Kazakhstan is made up mostly of people of Oriental descent. Jirov has Russian blood and was hailed after his gold medal performance. In fact, he beat the United States' Antonio Tarver in the 1996 Olympic Games.
Tarver went in an odds-on favorite at the Olympics. I'm one of those people that thought Tarver won that fight, but nevertheless, Jirov did perform very well and well enough to win, as we said, the most valuable boxer trophy. He is having his way with Nicholson now because Nicholson's pretty much on the outside. As long as he's there against Jirov, he's going to have a problem.
All 11 of Jirov's fights were in 1997. Made his pro debut in January of 97. His last bout, December of 97. A second-round knockout of Arthur Jimerson. Yates, as we mentioned in the open, has not fought since August the 4th. Nicholson has not. He defeated Brian Yates, but suffered a broken jaw in that bout.
It's tough to beat against a big puncher like Jirov after that broken jaw. This will tell him whether he can be completely healed, whether he is completely healed. Jirov doing what we have seen from him, throwing pretty good combinations. Even though he's a knockout puncher, he's not the kind of guy that just throws one punch, and that's certainly heartening for his people.
Al, is part of that the fact that he had such an extensive amateur background, 207 amateur wins?
Yeah, and only 10 losses to add to those wins. That's exactly what it is. When you're an amateur, you do throw lots of combinations, and it's inbred in him.
Jirov putting his punches together in clusters.
Nicholson taking away some of the headshots, so Jirov saying, I'll go to the body. It's going to be incumbent upon Nicholson to start to do something offensive.
Closing seconds of round number 1. Hope you're enjoying tonight's ESPN Championship Boxing.
At the end of the last round, listen, there's the bell, and then a left hand landed to the body of Jason Nicholson. He went down, but it was not counted as a knockdown because Elmo Adolph felt that it could come after the bell, and so he didn't give a count to Nicholson, and that was appropriate. But the power of Jirov shows.
Take a look at the numbers in round 1, all Jirov.
And even though he'd like to be landing at a better percentage, still, he's doing pretty well. How ironic that Nicholson had a broken jaw coming into this fight, and it's body punches that are really hurting him.
Good left hand from Jirov, and boy, he's just digging away at the body, hooks to the rib cage.
Now, what Nicholson needs to be doing is throwing the left hook. Jirov now feels like it's target practice to throw that right hook. The left hook of Nicholson could come over the top of him. He's got to throw that punch pretty soon, or he is just going to be devastated. And you need that punch against the lefty anyway. Nicholson apparently is not hip to that.
Oh, his hip is to that. His hip, his ribs.
See, that wasn't a great punch, but guess what? It landed. He could land that punch a lot over the right hand of Jirov, because Jirov not right there. Nicholson has to throw that hook.
And a fair catch called by Nicholson. He goes to one knee.
He's distressed with his own performance there.
Now, what should he be doing?
Well, he's got to do one thing. First of all, he shouldn't be laying on the ropes like that. If he is gonna, he's got to come with that hook. It's wide open. He could hit Jirov anytime he feels like it. If you just throw right there, just crank the punch up. I don't care how good you are at throwing it. Jirov is leaving himself wide open for it. Why? Because Nicholson has never thrown that punch. Maybe one time in this bout.
He's just basically going into a tough position and letting Jirov tee off on him.
And right there, he could come up with it. That's usually a posture fighters use when they're going to throw that punch. He's just being a punching bag here. So not a pleasing performance by Jason Nicholson. He is usually a little tougher than this, even though obviously he's not a higher echelon cruiserweight. Still, he's had his share of wins, and he did go 8 rounds with Torsten Mai.
And a standing 8 count being administered by referee Elmo Adolph, and he's going to stop the bout. Maybe Nicholson told him no more.
We saw 2 excellent examples of good refereeing by Elmo Adolph. First, not calling the knockdown when Jirov hit him just slightly after the round. And here, using the standing 8 count, which I still feel is a terrific tool, so that he could check on a fighter and then saying to himself, we've got to stop the fight. And for Vassiliy Jirov, he gets it done pretty early. And here's why that might be mildly impressive, even though Nicholson's performance wasn't impressive. Nicholson had gone 8 rounds with Torsten Mai, and it took Arthur Williams, former cruiserweight champion, 6 rounds to get him out of there.
Let's take a look at some of the action from round 2.
We go back to earlier in the round, where Jirov is just teeing off, and as you pointed out, it was like a fair catch. Nicholson deciding that he needed a little break, and then the end of the fight, more body work, more shots to the head. And Elmo Adolph decided on a standing 8 count and then decided that that would be enough.
For the official time of the stoppage, here's Mark Biro.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time, 2 minutes, 37 seconds of the second round. The winner by technical knockout and still undefeated, the Russian Tiger, Vassiliy Jirov.
So Vassiliy Jirov goes to 12-0, his 12th stoppage. 2:37 of round number 2 as he just stops Jason Nicholson with a barrage of body attacks. Al, did we learn much about Jirov?
Well, I think what we saw is what we've seen before. He can put punches together, has lots of power. He landed 63% of his punches in round 2. And even if Nicholson's performance wasn't great, Bob, we saw a journeyman get knocked out earlier than he should have.